you don't know you're in it, right? You don't know you're in one, right? And Tanner and the coaching staff would always say the most important innings are the 6th through the 9th. We can play clean baseball from the 6th through the 9th, right? He would just repeat it, right? Almost like it stuck with you once you looked up at the scoreboard and it hit the 6th inning. It's almost like something in your mind, flicked on and said, okay, 6th through the 9th, this is where we make our money, right? And if you go back and watch the games, we didn't beat ourselves from the 6th through the 9th, right? We didn't make mistakes. We didn't walk guys. We didn't make any errors. We got the bunts down. We made all the plays we needed to make. And then once you get out of jams for a certain amount of games and you're put in those situations over and over, you become comfortable in those situations, right? So it's almost like, the bases loaded, one out. Hey, we've been here before. We've done this before. We've gotten out of it before. It's okay. We got it, right? So there's almost a calm, right, that the team had. And it comes back for the coaches, right? And again, knowing your guys, right? Knowing when the bases were loaded. I'm not going to go get a lefty who maybe leave the ball up with a changeup. No, I'm going to go get Jose Mata, or I'm going to go get John Taylor, submarine guys who can get me a ground ball. My defense is really good. I'm going to go get these guys. And we knew as infielders, when those guys came in, we were going to get a ground ball, right? So it was almost like we were all on the same plan, right? It's not like Tanner would go get a guy and we were like, what's this guy doing? Just bringing in this guy, it's not the matchup. No, everybody knew, hey, this is the perfect matchup. John Taylor or Mata, they're going to get a ground ball to short right here. We're going to get out of it, right? Or they go get a strikeout guy in Matt Price or Ethan Carter or whoever, right? And they just knew, man, and we were in it for so many games in the SEC and the grind of the SEC that you just become accustomed to being in those games, right? I remember against Vanderbilt, 1-0 ball game. The whole way through, we faced a minimum my junior year at Vandy to win the series on a Sunday, right? So we were in a lot of those situations as a team that we had, and ultimately that's what those teams were, right? They weren't the home run hitting teams, right? It was those type of teams, right? Clutch hitting, defense, pitching, timely hits. And once you're in those situations a lot and you can't really practice and train for them, right? You just got to be in them, right? And that's why if you're bringing in a freshman class, you want to try to get them as much playing time as you can if they're freshman phenoms, right? And those are your guys for the future, right? Because you want those guys in it so when they're juniors, they've been in it for 2 years already, right? So credit to Carolina that had Braswell in there, right? He was a shortstop for them all year, right? And he closed for them. So that kid's only going to get better and better and better, right? So if you're in those situations often and you've been successful, right, you become accustomed to being in them. And it's a comfortability factor that you get. And then there's no more nerves, right? You're just playing the game. And that's ultimately what you want your team to do, right? It's to play nerve-free, right? And those are the teams that win games, man, especially late.